Welcome back to this financial freedom program. So, this is week 2, and we're talking about pleasure and passion and the second chakra, which is the chakra of pleasure, passion, and creativity. So, I hope that you saw the first video for this week and really got the message of how important pleasure and passion and desire and creativity are for financial freedom. Because if you are not experiencing those things, then I really don't know how you could consider yourself free. Because, the opposite of passion is, I guess, well, you could say dispassion, but that's kind of a numb feeling, like being, I don't know what the word is, but just like disconnected, disengaged, and apathetic. That's the word I was looking for. Apathetic, and that's a form of depression. That's not happiness. And being financially free means being happy. Doesn't mean being unhappy. So we need to start bringing in things that give us pleasure, that connect us with our pleasure, passion, and desire, and our creativity. Because through that, not only can we enjoy life more, which makes it easier, it sustains us, it feeds us, it nourishes us, makes it possible to do the things that we need to do to become financially free, but also because sometimes a source of income could spring out of that. So as an example, I was passionate about astrology, and I was like obsessed with it, and I would just study it all the time. And now here I am, I have an astrology business. So yeah, so this, and I didn't like plan that, when I was studying astrology. I just did it because I was passionate about it. So sometimes a source of income can spring out of the things that you're passionate about. And that's the best, because then you are truly financially free when you are doing what you love and following your heart. So let's see. The other thing is, if you're reducing your expenses and saving money, then you also need to be able to nourish yourself in small ways that don't cost a lot of money or that don't cost any money. So, I want to give you an example of what that looks like. And also, I want you to make a list of things that you can start increasing in your life, things that bring you pleasure and passion and desire, and even your obsessions. Obsession is different than addiction, because addiction is something that takes away, while obsession is just something that feeds you. So yeah, so make your list, and again, it can be very simple. You can see, I'll make my list and I'll include it below this video. But yeah, it's very simple. Like, as an example, I always wanted to be able to wake up naturally. I didn't like waking up to an alarm. So I made that an important part of my life. And that gave me a sense of freedom. And I was much happier when I woke up in the morning naturally. And it felt like a great sense of wealth, just to be able to wake up when I wanted to. And like I said before, now I wake up really early because I love my life. I'm ready to get up and get to do all the things that I want to do. So that was one thing, and that didn't cost any money. And as I said before, I like drinking my coffee in the morning. So I get my coffee when I'm traveling. I just get it to go. I'm not advertising for 7-Eleven. Just happens to be where I go to get my coffee when I'm in Denver. So, so those are two things that give me pleasure. And then, it's just starting my mornings the way I want to. Like, I like to keep the lights low, sometimes just light a candle and stay in that peaceful space and self-connect and really think about the life that I want to create and the way my life used to work. when I had a full-time job, did not feel free. I had to wake up to an alarm. I was rushing around all the time, trying to get my clothes on and get my daughter ready to go to daycare. And it was just miserable. And I was angry all the time. And then, driving rush hour traffic. And so those were little things that I wanted to change, like just getting up naturally, waking up naturally, taking time for myself in the morning to self-connect and just, more gradually ease myself into the day with a hot cup of coffee, lighting a candle, self-connecting, either just sitting in a sort of meditative state. And I wouldn't fall asleep. So, I can't say that that would work for you. For me, it was fine because I was awake. I wasn't going to fall back asleep. And also journaling was another thing I really enjoyed. All those things were free. Eventually, I was able to eliminate the commute as well, and work from home. So all of those things met needs for me and helped me to feel more financially free and made my life more enjoyable and gave me the freedom that I was looking for. And so then I had more time for the things that I was passionate about. And again, these things don't have to even cost money, it can be things like I enjoy being in nature, walking, hiking. I enjoy riding my bike, going to the mountains, camping, mountain climbing. These things have very minimal expenses associated with them, and give me a great deal of joy and nourish me, and also feed my creativity. When I'm in the mountains, I have a sense of clarity that I don't normally have when I'm in the city. So that helps to feed me as well. And as I said, journaling, I love to read books. That's the one thing I have to watch out for, though. I can spend a lot of money on books if I let myself. So I've really had to watch that because that can become an addiction for me. So I rely more on the library for books and audiobooks. That's another thing, was that before I became self-employed and had to commute, I would listen to audiobooks either when I was driving to work or walking to work, depending on where I was working. And that made it more pleasurable. So it's just small ways to bring more pleasure and joy and passion and creativity into your life that don't cost a lot of money. And because there's a gradual shifting, and it has to do partly with the externals, but partly with the internal, because basically what you're saying to yourself, you're saying you matter. What you want matters. Your happiness matters, the fact that you can experience pleasure, it matters. Your passions matter. Your desires matter. Your creativity matters. And so in these small ways, you're letting yourself know it's okay to be happy. It's okay to enjoy things that bring you pleasure, things that connect to your passion. And it's feeding your self-worth as well. Self-worth, and in the second house is fundamentally self-worth. And that is also the house where you receive, where you connect, what your income, your access to resources, your channel to abundance, all of these things, they're in the same house with self-worth. So increasing your feelings of self-worth actually help to increase your income and your access to resources and your connection to abundance. So it works on two levels. And like I said, it might even, a source of income might even blossom out of that. So again, make a list. I think a few more things, like, for example, nourishing yourself with healthy, delicious food, a hot shower, hot bath. Television and video games are other things that really have to be limited, just like me with books, because they can easily turn into addiction, especially because they, television is more passive. And so you can kind of sink into this passive state where you're not really doing anything. there's nothing wrong with having a program that you really enjoy. That you want to treat yourself to maybe an hour at night, but don't let it become an addiction, because it will suck away all your free time. And you want to keep that for yourself, to create this financial freedom and to do more things that really truly feed your soul. And same with video games. People can really, really get addicted to video games, and it'll just suck your whole life away. There's nothing left. So be very careful about that. And so again, I think that's about it. And I will put my own list below, and I want you to make a list and track how much are you shifting, like, are you allowing yourself pleasure in your life? Are you listening to your desires? Are you expressing your creativity? Are you opening up to what you're passionate about? Believe me, it is absolutely essential on an emotional level, psychological level, spiritual level, soul level, body level, everything. It absolutely makes a difference if you work with that second chakra and clear out your fear of pleasure and clear out your addictions, which again is just an addiction, really is just the fact that you haven't fed yourself in a nourishing way. So you feel like you're hungry. You got to, you're really trying to feed this unhappiness inside, so that's why people use drugs and alcohol and video games and television and shopping and food and any of those things, gambling, that we all know can be very addictive and can suck your life away, and there's nothing left for you. So that's the thing about that, is that people think they're feeding their pleasure centers, but they're actually not. What they are is that the constriction on your ability to feel pleasure, it's so constricted that it makes you feel like you're starving and you're craving, and so you feed that with the addiction. So we want to get down to the real, healthy, nourishing forms of pleasure that really, really feed us on a deep level, so that we have what it takes to continue to do the work we want to do or need to do in order to become more financially secure and eventually financially free. So we're going to talk more about those kinds of strategies in week 3, but this week, really, really focus on what makes you happy, what you desire, what gives you pleasure, what's fun, what's playful, what's creative in your life, because if you can feed yourself on those levels, it will ultimately lead to the genuine source and stream and energy of financial freedom. Okay, so I'm going to stop now. And again, I'll put my list below. And if you want to share your list with me, I would love to see it. So we'll talk again next time. Bye-bye.